Hey, so the recession is here. Everybody knows it, all the companies know it, and so what you need to know is what you should be doing from the perspective of somebody who is very well versed and addicted to personal finances. One, you need to have a current resume. The number one reason that people do not apply for jobs is because they don't have a current and active resume. And the reason why that's a problem is you don't know if you're going to get laid off. You don't know what's going to happen in your future. So the best thing you can do is be aware of your experience and write a resume. Like, I don't care if you're bad at writing, you need to make sure that you have an updated resume. You need to make sure you have it now. That's number one. Number two, now that you are aware of your experience and you have a resume, you need to go figure out what you're worth. You need to go on places like Glassdoor and look up your job that you currently have and actually figure out what are you worth in this current job market. Because when you reach a place where you are potentially laid off or you're concerned about the company that you're with, you absolutely need to be aware of how much you are currently worth and that there are in fact jobs available. Now, if there are no jobs available in your field, then you need to be doing number three. You need to be looking up jobs that are adjacent to what you currently do. Now, the reason why you want to do that is because there's a whole host of jobs that are out there that aren't necessarily what you do, but they are adjacent to develop a skill set that is very well valued and currently very, very necessary. Now, there's different ways to do this. The two methods of doing that is one, you can be wide. You can do everything. You can be a generalist. In whatever field you do, you can do a lot of different things. The second is to be very specific, very niche. So that is a super important thing to figure out now while you're currently employed. Because as it stands, it's always easier to get a job when you are currently employed than it is to get a job when you are no longer employed. Now that brings up the question, what do you do if you're already unemployed because there's been a layoff or you've been fired, whatever? The most important thing is to be on places like Glassdoor and be looking up jobs. Now, obviously, that takes a lot of effort. See, number one, you need to have that resume ready to go. So the thing is, even if you think that your job is safe, you're not safe. Like, there's no such thing as a safe job. Even if you own your own company, you're not safe. And that's why I totally recommend that everybody have that number one, that you have that current resume. Maybe you're not underpaid, but you're in a place where people take you for granted, then you might not realize that you're underpaid. Or say that you have an employer who is very comfortable giving you the paycheck that you are currently getting. If you are currently getting a very specific paycheck and you have lots of experience, then you're probably underpaid. Now, that's why you need to be making sure that your resume is up to date. Because the thing is, say you're at a company and they go through layoffs. That gives you the opportunity to surpass expectations, to do well, and then you will be in a place where, depending on the industry, you can ask for very specific raises or very specific promotions because you have lasted and you've done very well. And then you can say, look, my job description is such and such next tier because I have been doing that job and I would like to be appreciated as such. The best way to do that is to ask for a salary review. Now, obviously, that's going to be very difficult to do right now because every company is acting like we are in a recession, which means we're in a recession. If you have a current active resume, you're in a good spot. If you know how much you're worth in the work field, you're in a better spot. If you know what jobs are out there, you're in the best spot. Now, let's take this one step further. Now, just because you know how much you're worth does not mean you're in a good spot financially. You're in a good spot financially if you have a 6-month emergency fund. Now, a lot of people don't have a 6-month emergency fund. So what's really important is that you start putting together an emergency fund. I am a firm believer in the $1,000 principle that says that you can always make or save another $1,000 every month, either by earning $1,000 or spending $1,000 less. Now, one of the ways to do this is for you to split the difference and make an additional $500 through side hustles or spend $500 less, and then you've essentially found $1,000 to set aside as a part of an emergency fund. If you don't have an emergency fund, that is an emergency. And the reason why that is the case is because if you lose your job today, can you actually afford your bills? Now, you might say, oh, well, there are things such as unemployment. Well, okay, yeah, but you can Google how much unemployment is going to pay you once you qualify for unemployment, and it's not great. So that is why it's highly important that you decide to make sure that you are able to have money set aside for yourself in the event of an emergency. An emergency fund is the only way to be prepared for the recession. The people who are going to do really well at a company already are the ones who are currently there and they survive layoffs and improve, or the people who are able to command a higher salary or a better job from another employer. So there's a lot of growth to be had even during a recession, but the one thing you don't want to be is the person who's cut and you don't have any financial ability to cover yourself, to cover your bills over that time frame. So anyway, tell me what you think in the comments. If you disagree with any of my points, tell me why. Anyway, have a great rest of your day and bye.